Good day all, good evening, namaste to all. Looking at this video, so we would have been talking about cultivating, right? Cultivating, right? Humility, right? We're not a part of any cult on this video series, but the word is cultivating, right? Cultivating humility, right? And how do we go about cultivating humility? That we may get our heart space right in order to share wisdom, knowledge contained in scripture, right? So you all could watch back the video series on humility, cultivating humility, part 1 to part 4, I believe I did. So this might be, if not 45th video on that, right? So moving forward, talking about what is one of the other ways you can cultivate humility, to show to yourself that, hey, this is one of the things that I can do, right? So a lot of us have problems talking out issues, communicating issues that bother us, right? Certain things affect us in life, certain experiences happen to us, traumatic things, or stuff that or is on our part, on our behalf, right? Things that we do that is on our behalf, or traumatic events that happen to us, and we suppress those things, right? Part of humility actually is acknowledging that, hey, this thing happened, or I did something that was of poor conduct, right? And I want to resolve that thing, right? Part of humility is saying that I did something that was of poor conduct and I would like to resolve or talk out this issue, right? That I may have suppressed underlying emotions, feelings, thoughts about this particular thing, this particular issue that I did on my behalf, or that something happened to me, right? That I know of, right? So part of that humility process, right, is actually humbling oneself and approaching somebody, whoever the person is, to say, hey, you know, I didn't like how this situation played out, and I wish it, like, I wish, or it could have been better if it played out a certain way, but the past is the past and we leave the past in the past, right? So reconciling. So one of the things that is in this humility process is, I would suggest for people to do before making a heart space right to deliver messages from a scripture, is to find one person, right? Find at least one person who you would have had a falling out with, who you would have had an argument with, who you would have had some kind of mishap happening with that affected you emotionally, and whatever it be, you all didn't resolve the issue as you should have, right? Find at least one person to do that with and sit and talk it out, right? Communicate how you feel about it, how you felt about that issue, or somebody who you would have lied to, who you would have gossiped about, who you would have talked ill about, anything of that nature, right? Find somebody who you would have harmed in that particular way. Sit down with them, have a conversation with them, and say, hey, you know, I'm sorry that this didn't work out that the way that it should have, or we didn't resolve this in the manner in which it could have been resolved, right? I'm sorry that this was not resolved in the manner that it could have been resolved, right? As a mutual apology, right? As a mutual apology, not a one-sided thing. Mutual apology that, hey, I'm sorry I reacted on that way, and have that person communicate that to you as well, right? So before sharing the knowledge contained in the scripture, which all of this is part of the scripture actually, right? But before actually speaking the words and the verses of the scripture, that is one thing that I would suggest people do, right? Sit down, have an actual full-fledged conversation. I did this and it was not appropriate, right? and I didn't appreciate also how you approach the issue, right? So just a minor bit of counseling or whatever you want to call it on that matter, self-counseling and helping others as well, right, to deal with these kinds of issues, because life is real at the end of the day, right? Life is happening, ongoing, and is very, very real, because this is the reality of the matter. Sometimes we might use scripture, religion, spirituality, whatever you want to name it, as a form of escapism. So it becomes no different than from somebody going to sit down in a bar every Friday and drinking a case of beers. It becomes no different from somebody sitting down and smoking weed, right? It becomes no different from somebody having sex to escape their life problems, right? So religion becomes no different from all these forms of escapisms, right? So that's what we're trying to do, inculcate these things into our daily life experience to build a better quality of life, right? So integrating, pulling the pieces together, integrating it to formulate a better life experience, right? And all these things is common sense. You hear people talking about this one using this person knowledge, this person using this person knowledge, right? All these things is common sense thing that is knowledge, is not even knowledge, it's common sense that existed from time immemorial, right? So what it is understanding the human experience. It is nobody using anybody knowledge. How did you get to the point you are now? Did you not rely on somebody teaching you something, right? Did you not rely on somebody telling you, hey, giving you this life experience or giving you a book to learn from? Did you not use somebody knowledge to get to the point that you are? So I don't understand what this whole concept is this person using my knowledge, this person using our knowledge, right? It does not make sense. You are doing yourself a disservice, because nobody is preventing you also from looking into scriptural knowledge from other people's texts. Nobody is preventing you from doing that, right? So if I am looking into the Quran, I am not stopping you from looking into the Vedas or the Bible or whatever book you choose to look into, so you could shut up, right? Have a pleasant day, everybody.